Okay, welcome to our October meeting.
On the next board meeting.
We have one new member. She's not here tonight, but she was here last month, and then she came to the open shop. Her name is Jillian Graham, but she didn't make it tonight. Anyhow, she did join.
Yeah, she said she was away for this meeting, but she'll be coming to the next one.
Okay. Okay. We're still looking for, and we'll always be looking for, up until the deadline, candidates for president and secretary. So, even if you have served before, you can serve again. But we have to have all nominees in by the beginning of the meeting next month. Speaking of next month, the election. Maybe you all heard about it?
The presidential one? For this club or for the nation?
No, not our election, the election. It's on our meeting night, and so I'd like to have a, 4 years ago, we don't move it for the other elections, but for the presidential one, 4 years ago, we did move it, and I can't recall that we move it to Monday or Wednesday. We can't do the following Tuesday because that's when Susquehanna has their meeting, and we got a couple of Susquehanna members that are cross members. So, any discussion on Monday or Wednesday?
Monday.
Monday's good.
Okay, I'm hoping Monday would be it.
Yeah.
That way we won't be caught up in who won the other election. Okay, so it's going to mark that. It'll be the first Monday in the month, which I think is the 4th.
Fourth, yes.
Wait, sir. I'm supposed to demonstrate I can't make it on Monday.
Oh, we can't have the meeting without
You can
Mike.
either switch.
Well, Mike will have to,
He can't, he's supposed to demonstrate next month here.
I know Thomas can't make Wednesday. Before we entertain it, can you make Wednesday?
I could make Wednesday.
How desirable is Monday versus Wednesday for you guys? Can you make Wednesday?
Sure, I can make Wednesday.
Or Monday with no demo?
As it turns out,
I have a remote demo, but I don't have a camera, so I'll just have to say what I'm doing over the phone.
I can't make Wednesday, but that doesn't matter.
Can you rearrange your Monday?
Me, no.
Just cancel the meeting.
Jesus.
Cancel the whole thing. We'll be here on December.
We'll have to figure something out.
Figure something out and let me know.
Open shop. It will not be this Saturday, it'll be the following Saturday, the 12th. Just because it's the second Saturday. Okay, treasurer's report. I hope you don't mind the altitude here. I put some rising blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it.
So beginning of the month, we had just over $5,000 in the treasury, and then we bought the lathe, and we had a couple additions and subtractions. And so right now we're right about 3,300 in the treasury. So.
Any questions on the treasury? Okay, who would prefer having the demo before the show and tell? Show of hands. Okay. Demo after show and tell? All right. So, we'll take just like a 5-minute break so if people want to get coffee can get coffee. And then we'll proceed with the, me doing the demo.
Sorry, Barry. Was that vote just for this evening? Or was that vote about switching the order Was that vote just for this evening's meeting, or was it, were you asking
Well,
people
about 4 months ago, we had talked about switching the whole order permanently, but a couple of things had arisen in the ensuing months that kept, only 1 month was done that way. And I kind of looked at the collection of things for show and tell to try to assess how long that will last. And if we did show and tell and challenge first, you probably won't get out of here until 9:40 maybe. I haven't actually timed my demo, but I think it's just over an hour.
But I think this brings up a point,
Okay,
which is why I wanted to ask about it.
go ahead.
I think what my experience has been in the 2 years that I've been a club member is that we have a fairly lengthy business meeting, and then show and tell, and then the demonstrator is the one who gets who's now asked to cram a demo into an hour or 45 minutes, which is not, unless you're just doing an explanation of something or showing something, it's not attracting a demonstrator who's going to actually demonstrate a process. An hour is not going to be enough. So I'm just thinking about the structure of the meeting systemically and saying the two most important things are obviously the learning that one gets from show and tell and the learning that one gets from a demonstrator. So I would like to suggest that the business be done at the end of the meeting and the demonstrator be given whatever time they need to demonstrate. They've taken the time to prep a demonstration. They've come in here with all the materials. They've set up early, blah, 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 blah.
Are you saying the opening thing be the demonstration?
I'm saying we should get to the meat of the meeting before we do all the stuff that maybe that imposes a time restriction on the demonstrator, which can be challenging. I mean, I think Mike found that challenging. I found it challenging. Wasn't it you? So no, I'm sorry, not Mike, Doug. Doug did a demo that was like, he planned this big demo and then he was like, well, I got 20 minutes, so and I've got to get out of here. And, you know, I came thinking I was going to have an hour and a half and I had 45 minutes and then it runs late. And I'm just suggesting we think about whether the structure of the meeting is conducive to what I think of as the two major things we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, so before I try and get a sense here from the people, are you proposing that the very first item of the meeting be the demo?
Be either the demo or the show and tell, followed by the opposite, and the business meeting be done at the end. Because I think most of the business meeting stuff, I don't know, you know, there's a bunch of members here, but I think most of it can be done by the board. The board brings a recommendation, and we either follow it or we have a discussion and we don't follow it. But taking up a big chunk of the time we have here for a business meeting is not as conducive to learning of the club, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm just putting it out there.
The only concern with moving the business meeting to the end is if people figure, well, I've seen the meat of the meeting, I'm leaving, we don't have a quorum.
Maybe we should think about the bylaws. If a quorum of members is necessary to make every decision, I'm not sure why there's a governance structure. Being a person who runs nonprofits, it doesn't make any sense to me. We've in a sense hired executive committee to do a fair bit of the decision making for us and bring us proposals which we can vote on. I think if you spend a lot of time in a business meeting, that's not why people are here, but maybe that is why people are here. So I'm just throwing out my opinion on it, thinking about whether does it make sense or not. I do know that I have experienced and others have experienced a challenge in demonstrating under a time constraint that is not conducive to a good demonstration or respectful of the time necessary to prepare one. That's my thought.
So I'm not looking for absolute, well, no, hold on, let me put it the other way around. I'm not suggesting that we have figured out every single meeting what we do, but I think to some extent we can accommodate some flexibility. Like, I can't see the whole table, I can't tell how many things are there, but it seems that meeting by meeting we can look at what the demonstration is and about how long the demonstrator thinks it may take, coupled with how much show and tell there is, because show and tell can sometimes expand to fill whatever time is around, right? I mean, that's fungible. A demonstrator usually isn't fungible. you know, they have a program they want to do and it's going to take a certain amount of time, so you can't compress that easily. So I just wondered if we don't have a lot of show and tell, you can do it either way. But let's say we have a fairly quick demonstration, but we have a lot of stuff on the table. Maybe we do that first, and then we can go.
I mean, I think it makes sense to do the demonstration first because the demonstrator has prepared to do a presentation and they should be given the time afforded to them. And then whatever happens with the show and tell,
Okay.
you know, if you put the business meeting in the middle, fine. But I think the two most important things are the show and tell and demonstration.
And I agree, and I think that is fungible. I mean, you can compress or expand show and tell, and if people want to follow up, they know how to contact each other. They can get together and say, hey, can you give me some more insights? Come to the Saturday workshop and talk about it.
Right.
You know, that's also a thing that can happen on Saturdays.
Or if there's 100 pieces on the table, you can also say, hey, tonight you can only talk about one of your pieces.
Or just show it.
Yeah.
Or
Besides
get here
number
at
of
6:30
pieces,
if you want to look at stuff ahead of time.
besides number of pieces, I would like to suggest that the people who do show and tell apply some self-control so that they aren't doing 20 minutes on a piece. That really ate into Doug's time if we're going to get down to it. So
This has been an issue with every club and our club at the very beginning. For a while, we decided, okay, we're only going to spend so much time in the business meeting, then so much time in show and tell, and bring only one item. This has been going on for years and years. I agree that the demonstrator is putting in time. They're donating their time, and out of respect for them, they should be given the time that they need. Work it out somehow. The demonstrator should come first.
Alan,
Just a question. I've been attending now, not quite 5 years, but what is a normal time for dismissal?
normal time for what?
For going home.
There is no time.
And so kind of.
With
Yeah.
Zoom, the big indicator is when I see the people who are still logged in just have their name there, they're in bed probably, or off watching TV or something. When we get down to only about half of the count that we had at the beginning, and there's heads nodding out here, time to wrap it up. And we have had demonstrations that have been as brief as Angelo does one in 20 minutes. Some have gone on for like an hour and a half. So,
Again, personal opinion, as a retired preacher, the mind can only absorb what the seat can endure.
Amen.
we probably don't allow kids to come with us too. So they get fidgety. Andre?
I try not to be long-winded, but for me, a demonstration of an hour and a half was too long. That's just a personal opinion.
It is.
Some opinions from the IT spectrum. So the voting or certain items that club can decide, we can also look and think about it, do it electronically. Like everybody has a Google account, or it could be set up like a little survey form that everybody get sent a link. Person click on the link and voice their opinion. Like we send emails throughout the week or throughout the month, and they can submit it. And people who collect that stuff, it's all going to be in one shell, and then board could see that and go from there.
We already have provision for that. The bylaws were changed during COVID to reflect a lot of nights we had 3 people here. And that was just to operate cameras and stuff. But we introduced proxy, I guess 5 years ago now, or 4 years ago. And so we just have to get the email out. We have to know that something's going to be different than usual and get an email out, and we allow voting by proxy.
just a suggestion, so like,
As long as the issue is clear at that point.
Yeah, because you do need discussion on issues that you're voting on.
It's hard to discuss email. I mean, that's,
Right.
I don't disagree with you on
yeah,
that.
no, I just throwing an idea out there, and not necessarily like pushing for that, you know.
Well, then, our bylaws now allow it, so we could do a,
And if you
on
guys ever
most
need,
things.
if you guys ever need
vote.
help with that, I could be of help.
So if there's no closing time for meetings, the time is not an issue. I think it's the interest, holding the interest of people, right? And the time, if it's an open-ended meeting, the demonstrator can stay till 11.
Well,
It's more of an
no,
interest.
they can stay as late as whoever has the code to lock the place up is willing to stay, which is not
well,
always.
technically, right.
Not
but,
always.
I mean, it's just,
post 9 o'clock.
I think I'm not for or against, I'm just saying what you're trying to promote is people's interests are probably higher at the beginning of the meeting and lesser at the end, so deal with the,
We used to
the-
follow 7 to 9 as the timing for a meeting. That was, I don't know when that changed, but,
It's not set anywhere.
Okay.
maybe it's not,
All we have is
it was a policy, but not. a
tradition. It is quite often 9:20. Hopefully not tonight, but we can't go on with this a whole lot longer without saying, it's now 7:20.
Point made.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do the demonstration.
Yes, please.